Good morning, folks. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're staying motivated. That's often the biggest challenge, isn't it? I've just come off the back of a fortnight's worth of challenges. Challenging weather, challenging environments. And I also put some sprinkles on top and challenged myself as well. And I think it's quite a cyclical thing. It is for me, at least. I hear other photographers mention it, and I don't think I'm alone. In fact, I know I'm not alone. And what happens is you go through periods of peaks and troughs of satisfaction with your work, and obviously the environment plays a part, the weather plays a part. I mean, to some degree, your mood plays a part as well. You can never shoot hangry. There's no way, absolutely no chance. If I'm not in a fair mood, forget it. Don't pick a camera up. I won't. It's just no point. So, yeah, a couple of weeks worth of feeling okay, pushing yourself out at the early hours, as I have today. It's a little after 5:30 in the morning, but not coming back satisfied with your photographs. Couple of weeks of that takes its toll, and that's where I am right now. But today I just thought I'd share my 5 tips, practices for how to stay motivated, how to keep shooting through these challenging times. So I'm going to keep wandering for a while. When I find where I want to visit, I'll bring you back. Everybody's still asleep, apart from that one wood pigeon. Oh, excuse me, madam. Okay. In reverse order, top 5 tips to maintain your motivation. And in 5, employ technology. Use the technology we've got to find locations. I use Google Maps. It's free, it's comprehensive, you can drill into detail. When I'm challenged, I turn to technology, and I can spend 2-3 hours sometimes just using the eye in the sky to scan an area. It doesn't have to be local, it can be somewhere I intend to visit. And I just try to get close in on the action, imagining which way the sun will rise and how a dawn visit or a sunset visit might be best. That momentum builds, it starts to become somewhere I need to visit. You can get to see trails that you won't find on another map. You can find footpaths, scars on the land that people tread regularly that aren't charted anywhere else. It needs a little bit of detective work sometimes, and that's part of the fun of it. You sort of pre-visit locations. That definitely helps get me back out and shooting, and in quick time as well. So that's the first tip. Employ technology. Google Maps. It's awesome. Tip 4, make like a tree. Make like a tree. I guess this can be applied to any type of photography, any genre of photography. But for me, shooting woodland, making like a tree generally means finding a small clearing with a bit of diversity, maybe half lit or with some unusual flora. That's it. That's where I stay. I make like a tree. So within a stone's throw of that location, it's all I allow myself. Literally shoot within a very short perimeter. I end up pulling away some quite creative shots. You force yourself to focus and observe what actually is in front of you. It's about stopping. It's about stopping walking. It's about stopping thinking. It's about breaking the psyche of the past 2 weeks worth of challenging photography. You change your mindset, most importantly. I stop thinking about the grander image. I forget about trees. I don't worry about the landscape as a whole. It just takes me back to basics slightly and allows me to enjoy it. I enjoy it. I enjoy that even when I don't produce any decent shots. So that's tip 4, make like a tree. See you in a minute. Tip 3, get close. And this is similar to tip 4, but this is on the mooch. So by getting close, what I actually mean is to change your focal scale, completely different to what you usually shoot. That's the important thing. So if, like me, you're an outdoor photographer, I generally shoot quite close anyway. I run a 50mm prime. That's my go-to lens. I don't carry a zoom, I use my feet. And by getting close, to me what that means, so that you can better interpret it, when I shoot trees and the woodland, I'm generally, I would say, somewhere around 15 to 20 foot away from my primary subject matter. It does vary. Sometimes I'll be back 100 yards, but generally speaking, in general terms, I'm 15 to 20 foot away. So by me getting close, what that means to me is that I'm going to be maybe 15 inches away. It's completely out of my comfort zone. I don't usually shoot anything like that. And it's an interesting challenge. It's nice to have a wander around with only that in your mind. And it's about the mindset. So for me, getting close and coming out with that mindset means I forget completely about what I have been thinking about for the last fortnight. So everything that's been challenging me is gone, completely gone. All I'm interested in is getting close to subjects and looking at more intricate details, because obviously they're going to take up more of my frame. It's very, very interesting. I'm sure you'll find, if you've never done it before, just challenge your standard focal distance, your focal scale. What you normally work in, ignore that and go to an extreme. Whatever it is, anything that you don't usually shoot, use that. Or if you only have the one lens, or you're taking your phone out, no bother, it's absolutely fine, because all you need to do is move your ass much closer or much further away, whichever way is the opposite way to the way you normally shoot. There's a lot of ways in there. Tip 3, get close. Okay, just before we get to tip 2, fly in my eye. Yeah, I've lost the light, so this isn't going to be easy to display, but when the sun was lower, I had a little bit more ambient light in just this little nook of a wood, slightly off the path here, but I've come in to find the twist in this tree. How lovely is that? Lovely old oak. I just like the form. I love the twist, the contour of it. And normally I'd have walked straight past. My mind would be on a broader horizon. So because I'm shooting close, it's allowed me to stop, think about things differently. And this is what we're looking at. My composition here isn't much different to what I would normally shoot, to be perfectly honest, but I am quite a bit closer because this tree is significantly smaller than usual. And really what I'm doing with this is again different than I would normally do. I'm playing with depth of field. So the plane within this frame that's in focus is quite shallow. The thing I liked about this tree, apart from the shape of it, is the light coming off the front, and you can just see an indication of it there. I can't go too far because we've got some highlights in the background. The sun's over the top of us and it's coming down behind us, so I kind of just picked the right moment to get in there. I have taken a couple of shots, and I'm going to take another. Focused in on the tree trunk just there. Gives me 1/10 of a second, f2.5, minus 0.3 of a stop at ISO 50. I'm motivated by that, which is unusual. And that's the benefit of tip 3, getting close, onwards. Tip 2, adventure, adventure, adventure. Just head out, just go. Anywhere, it doesn't matter where. In fact, the more diverse it is, the better. Just adventure. A little trail, a big trail, random place. Anywhere you can get that you've never been before. It's tip 2, and for a good reason. Some of the best shooting experiences I think I've ever had have been on the spur of the moment, just picked my gear up and not knowing where I was going or why. I've just gone. And again, it comes back down to the same thing, breaking the mindset of coming out with the intention of shooting the same thing that you've been shooting under challenging circumstances with challenging results, and by coming out with none of that baggage and just coming out for the adventure, you give yourself a lot more opportunities to find stuff of satisfying nature. So that's tip 2. Simple as that. Go adventure. Just go. Just go. Anywhere. Just go. See you later. Bye. Have a nice time. Tip 2. Adventure. Up it. Okay folks, we're down to tip 1, number 1 tip. Reset your alarm clock. In the last 2 weeks, I've probably been woken at between 3:30 and 4 a.m. on average every other day in order to get out for the chance of some nice soft morning light. And it wears you down after a while, especially when what you come back with isn't hitting the spot. And I find one of the best ways, hence why it's tip 1, to adjust my perspective, shall we say, change my outlook, is to change the time of day that I shoot. So by resetting the alarm clock, I don't necessarily mean stop in bed until the middle of the afternoon, but what I mean is just shoot at a different time of day than you have been doing. For me, it's always been mornings. So the break for me, the test for me, is to not shoot until an evening. So come out at, say, we've got sunset around 9 p.m, something like that. So I'll come out maybe 6:37 and I'll shoot through till it gets dark. And that change in environment, change in weather, change in light, more importantly, affects the compositions that you pick, and you start to be challenged in a different way than you have been in the previous fortnight. And that's the thing again, it flips your mind into a different activity. And really, I think for all 5 tips, that's the one consistent theme really. It's about doing things differently. And years and years ago, I don't even know how many years ago it was, somebody somewhere at some time, in some context, probably life related more than photography related, said something to me that stuck, and that was that if we want things to be different, we have to do different. And it applies to so much. When we get dissatisfied or disheartened, or things just don't seem to be going the way we want them to go, if we want it to be different, we have to do different. So in the last fortnight, I mean, last week I was already saying this to myself. If I wanted my photography to improve, it wasn't likely to do that whilst ever I kept doing the same things. If I kept waking up at 3:30, 4 a.m, going out to the same spot, doing the same things, yeah, the only thing that's going to change is light. And I'm not really in control of that. So if I wanted the photography to be different, I had to do something different. And I've really loved this morning. But what I've done is I've come in and I've gone with a close tip. So for me, all I'm shooting today is intimate little shots of anything that I can get close to. So tree bark and leafage and squirrels and, you know, anything that's different than it was last week. And it's been a joy. It's been an absolute joy. And I'm going to carry on down this path and grab a cup of coffee in a minute. And I'm going to shoot for another hour or two. The only thing that you bring away from this video is that one motto, then that's great, because it'll help you in no end of different ways. If you want things to be different, just remember you have to do different. And with photography, it's never been a truer statement. It's okay waiting for lucky light, but we don't want that, do we? It's nice on an occasion, but you don't want to come to rely on it. Okay then, folks. So that's a wrap. Quick summary of 5 tips. Employ tech. Try it out. Check out some locations you never even thought of visiting. Make like a tree. Give yourself just the area of a canopy in which to shoot. Amazing what you'll find. Get close or get far, depending on what you shoot. Just shoot at a different focal scale, significantly different than what you're used to shooting. It's a revelation. So then we get to tip 2, adventure. And that's just a simple case of hitting trails you've never ventured down or a place you've never been to. Go somewhere new for no other reason than it's new. Take your camera and enjoy the journey, and that's it. That's absolutely awesome. And last but not least, change your alarm clock. Get out to shoot at a different time of day than you have been shooting. If your routine has been bright and breezy AM, as it has for me, get out at dusk, even get out at night, try some astro, do anything that's different from the norm. And that wraps it up. That's all it is. Every one of them with a simple motto in mind. If we want things to be different, we have to do different. And if you're challenged at the moment, in a bit of a funk, lacking motivation, give any of the 1 to 5 a go and drop me a comment, let me know how you get on. Just see how you find it. Did you produce anything worthwhile? Did you find any shots that you really, really like? I usually do. I usually come away with something that I really personally like. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I can smell fire. I don't like that in here. And I mooch about, try and follow the scent, see what's going on. Okay, folks, so I'm off. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Please take care of one another, and as ever, if you can't be good, just be careful. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.